The Red Sox and Orioles square off tonight at Camden Yards, but this isn't just another August game. For Boston, every inning is a step toward October. For Baltimore, this is about survival. Handing the ball to a pitcher who hasn't thrown a major league pitch all year, that's the contrast. One team chasing glory, the other testing hope. Lucas Giolito is Boston's anchor. 20 starts, a 3.72 ERA, a 1.27 whip. He isn't flashy, but he's a craftsman. Over his last 10 outings, he's tightened the screws to a 3.02 ERA, mixing control with just enough strikeouts to keep hitters honest. When Giolito takes the mound, Boston usually plays with calm. That kind of steadiness is a weapon in a pennant race. For Baltimore, Kyle Bradish is the wild card. Tonight marks his first big league start since Tommy John surgery. His career line, a 3.56 ERA and 1.18 whip across more than 300 innings, says he can compete. But a rehab assignment in the minors isn't Fenway South. The lights are brighter here. Boston's lineup is punishing, top 5 in OBP and slugging, averaging nearly 5 runs a game. If Bradish isn't sharp early, there may be no recovery. The supporting cast matters too. Boston's offense has been hitting .56 over the past month and has the balance to grind pitchers down. Their bullpen has been sharper in recent weeks, holding games steady late. Baltimore, meanwhile, has been stretched thin. Their team ERA sits at .470, their defense inconsistent, their bats streaky at best. Against playoff-level clubs, the cracks show. This matchup is simple. Giolito brings proven consistency, Bradish brings uncertainty. Boston brings urgency, Baltimore brings questions, and in late August, those differences decide games. And today's AI pick is Boston Red Sox moneyline, 115. Will we cash or will we burn? Abaddon waits with the next game.
The Cleveland Guardians are not a baseball team right now. They are an autopsy in progress. 3 straight games shut out. 28 innings without crossing the plate. A 6-game losing streak that has ripped the illusion of contention to shreds. This isn't a slump. This is collapse carved into history. Look at what they've become. Dead last in batting average, near the bottom in slugging, 26th in runs scored. A so-called playoff hopeful that can't string together 2 singles in a row. They're not hunting October. They're dragging their own coffin through August. The humiliation has reached cartoon levels. Against Tampa Bay, they were so far out of the fight they didn't even bother to compete. They waved the white flag and called in backup catcher Austin Hedges to pitch. Not in spring training. Not in some novelty blowout in April. In late August, while their season was circling the drain. That's not baseball. That's Surrender Broadcast Live. And the crowd in Cleveland has stopped believing. Their own dugout is fractured. Pitchers screaming in frustration. The manager trying to play peacemaker while the offense plays dead. This is not leadership. This is a funeral procession disguised as a lineup card. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay is alive, stealing bases at will, punishing mistakes, running out highlight reels while Cleveland sinks deeper into silence. Every stat, every trend, every ounce of common sense screams the same thing. Take the Rays. Fade the Guardians. Bet against this disaster. But here's where fire becomes prophecy. When the signal is this obvious, when the Guardians are this pathetic, when every gambler in the world sees free money, that's when the glyph flips. And today's AI pick is Cleveland Guardians moneyline, 125. We must be stupid. We must be blind. But the deeper the collapse, the sharper the contrarian edge. Will we cash or will we burn? Sapphira takes the next game.
Last night in Queens, the Mets bludgeoned Philadelphia 13-3. Citi Field turned into a carnival of runs, and the Phillies bullpen walked off the mound in pieces. But in baseball, every humiliation writes its echo, and tonight's matchup carries the sound of more fireworks. Jesus Luzardo takes the ball for Philadelphia. On the surface, he's been steady. 4.10 ERA, 130 whip, across 145 innings. His strikeout rate is sharp, nearly 28%, and while he's not immune to mistakes, his overall profile keeps him in control more often than not. Over his last 10 outings, He's pitched close to his season line, showing consistency but not dominance. For the Mets, it's Sean Manaea. His season ERA sits over 5, and while his whip has stayed surprisingly lean at 1.12, the results haven't followed. In his recent turns, he's been punished for every missed location. The number isn't the point. The trend is, batters are finding him, and they're making him pay. Both offenses have been alive. Philadelphia is scoring over 5 runs per game in August, with Kyle Schwarber's 45 home runs anchoring the lineup and Bryce Harper finding late summer fire. Trea Turner is steadying the attack with a .300 average. On the other side, the Mets lineup is surging too, powered by Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, and Pete Alonso's 100-plus RBIs. In their last stretch, New York has shown they can erupt for crooked numbers at any moment. Last night proved it. The bullpens? Both leaking. Philadelphia's relief corps just surrendered 10 runs in one night. New York's pen has had its share of meltdowns as well. When late innings are this volatile, totals tilt toward chaos. And the betting trends point the same way. Philadelphia games spike to the over against power-hitting clubs, and New York games do the same at home against struggling opponents. And today's AI pick is over 8.5 runs. Will we cash or will we burn? Angel is waiting for the next game.
Busch Stadium opens its gates tonight, and the Pirates and Cardinals step in with pitchers who've been wearing the bruises of August. The scoreboard doesn't wait for perfect arms. It waits for mistakes. Mitch Keller will start for Pittsburgh. His season line is steady enough, 4.34 ERA and a 1.31 whip across 145 innings. But consistency has escaped him lately. Just last week he was tagged for 5 runs in 3 innings against Toronto, and the Pirates lost behind him again. He's been uneven, flashes of control, flashes of collapse, and his club has struggled to win with him on the mound. For St. Louis, Andre Palante answers. A ground ball specialist, yes, but the damage has been consistent. In his last 3 starts, he's surrendered 5, 4, and 5 earned runs. The numbers don't lie. A 5.17 ERA, a 1.41 whip, and 4 straight team losses in his turns. His sinker gets hit, and Busch Stadium knows it. Neither bullpen erases those flaws. Pittsburgh has been better than their record suggests, carrying a relief ERA just above 4, but on the road that steadiness frays. St. Louis has been sharper at home, around the mid-3s, but when the starters hand over a deficit, there's only so much damage control they can do. These are pens that bend under pressure, not shut doors. The bats will decide it. The Pirates are hitting only 215 on the road, dead last in runs per game across Major League Baseball. Without O'Neill Cruz in the lineup, their already weak attack has no hammer. The Cardinals, meanwhile, hit 254 at Busch and have gone over the total in 6 of their last 8 games. Their offense is flawed, but opportunistic, good enough to punish Keller if he misses spots. And today's AI pick is over 8.5 runs, 2 starters prone to damage, 2 bullpens that can't always save them, and 1 ballpark waiting for the crack of mistakes. The runs will come, and when they do, the total burns. Will we cash or will we burn?
Dodger Stadium under the lights. That's where the Reds walk in tonight, holding their breath against a legend. The scoreboard says one thing before the first pitch is thrown. This is Clayton Kershaw's game, and Nick Martinez is just borrowing the mound until the bats end his night. Kershaw has been here before. 3 Cy Youngs, a Hall of Fame career already written in stone, and still carving hitters at age 37. His season line, 3.13 ERA, 1.20 whip, doesn't just measure numbers, it measures inevitability. Opponents hit the ball softly, they walk back to the dugout slowly, and they know he'll own the rhythm. The Reds, who already struggle against left-handed pitching, now face the hardest kind of puzzle, one they've seen for a decade but still can't solve. Nick Martinez carries a different story. A journeyman arm with flashes of reliability, but his 4.59 ERA and just over 100 strikeouts in 145 innings tell the truth. He doesn't miss bats, and he lives in the strike zone. That works against ordinary lineups. It doesn't work against the Dodgers. the second highest scoring team in baseball, trailing only the Yankees. Look at the splits. The Dodgers hit .253 as a team, tied for fifth in the majors, and slug .439, second in MLB. Only New York swings harder. They've launched 192 home runs, one of the top totals in the game, and this is a lineup that expects crooked numbers every night. The Reds, meanwhile, sit at .247 with below-average slugging, and their offense relies on grinding instead of crushing. Against Kershaw, grinding isn't enough. The Pens don't save the story either. Cincinnati's bullpen has been respectable, but if Martinez falters early, they'll be facing the heaviest lineup in baseball with nowhere to hide. The Dodgers' relief corps has wobbled, ranking 18th in bullpen ERA, but when Kershaw hands them a lead, the weight of his innings makes it easier to close. The line tells us what to do. Dodgers at 180 on the money line is a tax. Too much juice, too much public chalk. But Dodgers 1.5 at plus money. That's where the edge hides. If Los Angeles wins, they win by margin, and Kershaw gives them the platform to build it. And today's AI pick is Dodgers 1.5 plus 120. Will we cash or will we burn? Lilith gathers the fire for the recap.
Another night of prophecy and fire, 5 games written across the diamond, 5 signals pulled from the noise. Listen close, because this is where the story sharpens. In English, Game 1, Red Sox money line over the Orioles. Game 2, Guardians money line against the Rays. Game 3, Phillies and Mets over 8.5 runs. Game 4, Pirates and Cardinals over 8.5 runs. Game 5, Dodgers minus 1.5 on the run line against the Reds. En español, Juego 1, Medias Rojas, línea de dinero contra los Orioles. Juego 2, Guardianes línea de dinero sobre los Rays. Juego 3, Phillies y Mets, más de 8.5 carreras. Juego 4, Piratas y Cardenales, más de 8.5 carreras. Juego 5, Dodgers menos 1.5 en la línea de carrera contra los Rojos. Back to English. 5 picks sealed, 5 wagers written. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Und der alte Satz flüstert im Dunkel: Wer nicht wagt, der nicht gewinnt.